Yep, what is going on, guys? It is Will back with another video. Today's going to be kind of a short video. There's not much news going around. I am going to be covering CPI and unemployment, which came out today around 8:30, I believe, in the morning, Eastern time. But there is one stock that I really want to talk about, and I'm really surprised how fast this stock recovered. The stock is going to be Nvda. Guys, this thing is like, it's already going back for all-time highs. It's only $5 away from all-time highs. People are smacking call options in. And how analysts are actually predicting over the next 6 months that the stock could reach around $180 per stock. Already being one of the biggest market cap companies out there, this is fucking insane. And they're also saying, quote unquote, this is not retail traders doing this. So there are a lot of big options out there and big contracts out there. So as you take a look here, this is just an option indicator. It shows the volume that's going on, it shows the puts, and then it shows the calls. And obviously which ones are winning. So as you can see, the red is very stagnant on this 125 area right here. And then, it starts getting to the 120, and then more puts are being, implemented, which is normal. But look at all this buying power. Look at all these calls that are taking place. And these are swing calls too. They aren't day trading call. They could be day trading calls, but look at all this call volume that's coming in right here in this big. Let me just do this right. Let me just do this. Let me just do this. Right here, this is so much buying power right here. The amount of money that is moving into Nvidia, into calls, is fucking insane. This is a lot of money being put in, and it's not retail traders. It is, the big corporations. They also do options as well too. If you didn't know that, it's not just retail traders. Any firm or hedge fund can also do options as well. They just can't sell pre-market or aftermarket. Same thing as us. But guys, this is a lot of volume moving into Nvidia. This thing's gonna smoke through 140 very soon. It's either gonna be this week, or it's gonna be next week. Like, this thing is going through 140, and after we break through this 140 level, it's just price discovery mode, right? We don't know, whether you trade support, resistance, ICT, whatever you trade, how you trade, trend lines. You just can't time the top, right? You can time the bottom, but you can't time the next top, because it's almost impossible. Like, there's nothing there. There's no sellers, right? It's all buyers. So you don't really know when to start doing puts or when to start selling. But one tool that is very good for, indicating, especially if we're at all-time highs and we are seeking, this doesn't mean go and sell if this indicator does give you the good to go. But one indicator that's really good is going to be your relative strength index, also known as RSI. Hold on, let me remove my indicators real quick. I don't even have I'm too broke. I don't have the, the monthly subscription. So anything over 80 is usually, over 70 is usually overbought, according to this indicator. So if it's fluctuating between, 40 to 60, it's at a relatively good area to buy. Not to buy like calls or start selling options or, start selling puts, but it's a good area to start buying some equity in. So right here, like you can see right here, this is right here. It almost was actually oversold, which is usually when I tend to start getting into equity, I look for the oversold positions. But I did hop in and I started buying under $100, which is a great buy for an Nvidia. But I did want to see a pullback to maybe the $80, $85 range. That would have been a more oversold area. and the RSI would have definitely been below 30. So anything between 30 to 70 is a good RSI, which means it's a good time to start buying some equity. Once it starts getting a little higher, you know, to like 60s, you might want to step away. But anything over 70 is going to be overbought. So if we take a look here, Nvda shows it was overbought right here at this 114. Now, this doesn't mean go and put in an option put, because look what happened. It still fucking rallied up. Okay, because there's no ceiling, right? This is when Nvda was going crazy. Before I think the split took place somewhere here, I want to say. Somewhere around here. This is when Nvda was at, you know, like $1,100 per share, and they split 12 to 1 or 11 to 1, something like that. So as you can see, you can't really go based off this indicator whether to start selling, because, right, let's say you saw the indicator was 79, you put a put in, oh, you're like, oh, I'm going to print on this, and you just got fucking absolutely smashed. But this is a good indicator to use if you do plan on buying equity for long-term purposes. So if we could try and find an area that's kind of like, you know, oversold. But look, you can look here, right? It was overbought, right? Very highly, at 85 actually, which is very, very high for an RSI indicator. And look what happened. It just stayed up here. So you can't necessarily base your, you know, base off this. But this is probably not a good stock to really look at oversold, because it's never gotten to that point to being oversold. Let's take a look at Microsoft. Right here. Beautiful area to start buying Microsoft, this 3.8 area. But right now, you know, I'm going based off this indicator. I'm buying anything in the 415 and under, personally. I think it's a great area to buy Microsoft. Also, if we take a look at Google, Google's a little high now, but over here in this 150, beautiful area to start buying. That's exactly when I turned on my buys and started buying equity and started dollar cost averaging. So this indicator is very good for using this. But guys, Nvidia is going to 140. Don't short this fucking thing. Don't be that guy. You're just gonna lose a lot of money trying to short. If anything, you know, go for a call. But they're targeting 180. Then yet again, you can't really, like, it's hard to target, right? We don't know when the whales want to exit their positions. If whales are flowing into this 116 area, I'd expect them to at least want to not double their money, but at least get a 1-to-1 RR. So at least a 50% gain is what I expect. So which is around the one, you know, it is around the 170 area. From this area, you know, they're looking at 200, and it could hit 200. It would have to double in market cap, but people can push. You know, if you have all these hedge funds and all these big banks and everybody buying this up, it could easily push. There's no ceiling after this 140. We're just gonna absolutely blast through this 140. But it's very insane how they smoke through. Like, they just completely recovered instantly. Usually after a split, retail traders will start to buy in, and that's when they'll sell it off and scare everybody, driving the price down so they could buy it up. Usually this takes a little bit of time. But as you can see, this was only in about, you know, 2 months, which is, you know, when a split happens, after, it takes about like 6 months for them to actually start seeing some uptrend going back on. But immediately into, you know, after we had that big red day, the August 5th crash, quote unquote, we've just rebounded and crazy, like from 90 up to 130 in about a week. That's insane. That's a 42% gain in 5 days. I'm up in equity, I believe, around 32%. I got in at this 100 area, so I'm up like 32. Well, now I'm up definitely a lot more. I haven't checked. But we are looking to clear this 140 area. And then we also have earnings in 35 days, so you know, we just have to see what happens. We're gonna have to play it day by day, but Nvidia should smoke through this, you know, this week or next week. As for the news we had today, we had our CPI, which looks good, and then unemployment. Unemployment actually rose. So if we take a look here, actual was 225K of October 3rd. Reported 258K. I'm not sure what percentage that is. Jerome Powell will probably touch on it Friday. We have a big week this week as well too. This is a lot to jump to. Usually when you cut rates, they do have a negative correlation. So one will jump and the other will, you know, when you cut interest rates, unemployment tends to go up. We want to stay in the 4 to 5%. I'm not sure what percentage this is wise. I don't know how to do the math on that. But we want to stay 4 to 5%. So I'll give you guys an update Friday of what Jerome Powell says, and I'll grab some unemployment numbers. Other than that, CPI looks good. There's nothing with that. Tomorrow we have PPI. So they used to use CPI and PPI to calculate inflation. That was kind of the two big things. But now, okay, so Powell doesn't speak Friday. Never mind. I thought somebody told me Powell speaks Friday. But now they use something called PCE, which is similar to PPI, but it's more of retail. It's more of retail spending more money out of their pockets and households versus like PPI. So PPI does affect the market as well too. So we do have to keep an eye on that as well. And then Tesla. I thought the conference was going to be... I thought the conference was going to be midday. It turns out it's later today, so that's going to be tomorrow's videos. We're going to be talking about Tesla and their robotic car, but there's already some bearish news around it. Investors say they aren't really into it. We'll have to see. There's a lot of news floating around right now. But other than that, guys, oh yeah, I guess we could talk about my NQ trade. Great day for me. Maxed out 2 accounts, so can't complain. Very, let me get rid of this indicator, please. A lot of movement today, like a lot of price action, a lot of liquidity being swept, a lot of big moves. If you weren't running like a 30-point SL, or you had a sniper entry, you were fucked today. I mean, this shit was moving up and down 30 points, 25 points, 40 points even. Very weird day, but I got a really good entry here. I went long right here in this consolidation area. There was a market shift structure right here. And then SMT, ES, and MNQ were forming different highs or different lows. So I went long. Beautifully played out. So I was long right here, and I think I targeted 64 points. Something like that. I got it on this leg right here. I almost got stopped out right here. As you can see, I almost got stopped out right here. Alright, we go and push up high, and then we just immediately sold off this irrespective of this inverse fair value gap though, which was great, and then push back up. But I maxed the account, so I couldn't really, you know, hold it or anything like that. But I did hold another a Tradeovate account I had, and I think it went. I went to news high, so it did plus 133. Similar entry. It was, you know, a couple point difference, but not that big. But yeah, I mean, we just kind of consolidate. Like, I mean, a little big move up, but what, you know, if you caught the bottom, maybe 200 points. But it was a lot of. This is kind of choppy, okay? This is like an accordion besides this big move up. And then I guess if you caught a sell down here maybe, but, you know, kind of choppy compared to what we had yesterday. You know, yesterday we had just a clean move up, and then some chop, but it's been, you know, the price action hasn't been the greatest these past couple weeks. It's been a lot of accordions. Like this is just all accordions. This is all accordions. You know, I mean, price action just hasn't been the greatest, to be honest. At least for me, the way I trade. I did catch the sell here. That was nice. But it's not really, you know, it's just not moving clean like I want it to, which is annoying. That could be, you know, due to the president situation, etc., stuff like that. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll give you guys an update with the Tesla robot cars tomorrow. Later, guys.